Comrades, for those who are new to the channel, you can refer to me, Mr. M.Patrick. I welcome you all in today's session. We are still under capital budgeting of project in appraisal. We have looked into traditional methods under independent investments, and also we have looked into mutual investments. Now we want to dive into discounted cash flow methods, or you can call them modern methods. And under modern methods, we have three methods I will take you through. And I will start today with the net present value method. The net present value method, or you can refer to it as a NPV. The net present, we call it net present value method. Net present value method. Yeah, net present value method, NPV. NPV. For us to be able to tell how long or are we going to, because we are by this we'll be able to advise the organization if they will be able to venture into the business or they will not venture into it or into that project. Good. Before we go dive deeply into that method, you can see we have a question here that a firm is considering investing in a project which costs 6,000 Kenyan shillings and has the following cash flows. The year we have here one, it has the cash flow of 1,500. In year two, it has the cash flow of 3,000. In year three, it has got the cash flow of 2,000. Then in year four, it has got the cash flow of 2,500. Good. Allow me to come up first with a table here so that I can illustrate something for you to understand this part very well. When you have been given a question like this, first come up with a table here, right? Just here, yeah. Then we'll have here cash flow. Yeah. So after that, you come with a table. I will tell you what the columns you are going to add there. So in year one, we have 1,500. Year two, we have 3,000. Year three, we have 2,000. Year four, we have 2,500. Year four, we have 2,500. Good. So you'll get a question that maybe your work has been arranged this way or it has been arranged this way. Yeah. But if it has been arranged in this format, just put it in this so that you can add other columns here. Good. There is another column you'll have to add here called PVIF. PVIF. Yeah. PVIF. I will tell you how we are going. Let me stand it here. Yeah. Then we'll have another column here that is it's called PVS. PVS. I'm going to give you the initial PVS. So up to there, I want you to note that that's the column, that's the table we are going to work with. That is the table we are going to work with. Yeah? That is the table we are going to work it. So, before that, before we go to get to explain the table, you are being told the continuation of the question that the cost, let me write here, the cost of capital, the cost of capital is 10%. The cost of capital is 10%, and the project has no salvage value. has no salvage value. Using NPV method, using NPV method, advise the firm on whether to invest in a project. Advise the firm whether to invest in the project. Good. So we have to advise the firm if it can be able to invest in the project using the NPV or the net present value method. The net present value method. Well, this is the area I will take my time to explain to you because it's the foundation of the modern or discounted cash flow method. If you don't understand this area well, it means you'll not be able to calculate well the internal rate of return method, the IRR, and the profitability index, or you can call it cost benefit ratio method. So I want us to understand this area very well, especially the PVIF, how this comes, and the PVS. Then when we go to the internal rate of return, I will show you how we will play with the percentage or the rates. Yeah? Good. So, in an exam scenario, you can get that the examiner has already done for you the PVIF column. He can give you this, the cash flow and the PVIF. Then it's just a matter of you to get the PVS. That is good. That is, it will be easier for you. But just in case the examiner has not filled this part, and maybe wants you to fill this part, how do you do that? Before that, you have to understand what is PVIF. PVIF just stands for the present value interest factor. PVIF, we call it present. You can call it present value interest factor. Yeah, present value interest factor. Yeah, this is just a fact. It's used to calculate maybe the present value of the present value of a future amount of money. Future amount of money. You see, it helps us to calculate what we'll get in the future. In other words, it helps us to find out how much future sum of money is worth today. Yeah? How much the future money is worth today, given a specific interest rate. That's why we have been given a 10% in regards to this question. Yeah, and the time period. Good. Now, the formula for getting PVIF, I always say the formula for getting PVIF is just very easy. PVIF is equals to 1, you divide by 1 plus rate per n. Yeah? Which is very easy. R for this case will stand for the rate. Yeah? That one will stand for the interest rate for the period. Interest rate, which we have already been given 10%. Yeah? 10%. And the N will stand for the number of periods. Number of periods, or the number of periods in bracket, N will stand for the number of periods. Number of periods, that is, can be maybe in years, like here we have been, our question is in years, yeah, or months, depending on the question you have been given. And 1, here it remains constant, here it remains constant. Are we there? That is how it's done for you to get the PVIF. PVIF. Good. So, let's do it now here. What is the PVIF for the, like for this one now, the first year? The PVIF for the first year. Yeah? So I can do the PVIF for the first year 1. Can call it year 1. Yeah, which will be equals to 1. I said to remain constant. 1. You divide by 1 plus rate you have been given 10, so it will be 10 over 100. You divide by, for the year 1, when it is year 1 here, you put n here, it will be 1. When it is 2, year 2, here it will be 2. Yeah? I think we have understood that. So in this case, it will be what? 1. The PVIF for first year, year 1, it will be 1 divided by what? Here, this will go with this. So it will be 1 plus 0.1, which is 1.1. So divide with your calculator. So you'll say PVIF year 1, it will be what? 1 divided by 1.1. What do you get? Using your calculator, like for me, let me see mine. 1 divided by 1.1. I'll have 0.9091. 0.9091. Good. So I will write here 0.9091. Good. Just that way. So let's do for year 2. I will just do for the others, then we will fill. So PVIF for year 2. PVIF year 2. It will be what? The formula we have already, it is here. Formula. Our formula is here for PVIF, for filling that. So it will be 1 divided by, into bracket 1 plus the rate we have already 10 over 100. And now, because this is year 2, I'll put here 2. Because you remember we said n is what? Number of periods. So year 2. So if you do that, it will be what? It will be 1 divided by 1. Like for that one, it will be now 1.1. Remember this one was 1.1. Huh? Yeah? 1.1 squared. If you square 1.1 squared, what do we have? 1.1 squared. I will have 1 divided by 1.21. So if you divide 1 point that, I will get 0.8264. I'll come and write here 0.8264. Good. So the same you'll do to the third year. Yeah. And in the third year, what will be changing? It will be now the number of n year. So here it will be 3, 4, 5 as you proceed. So that is how you calculate the PVIF. Or you can call it the present value interest factor. Because it's going to help us to calculate the amount for the amount that we can get in the future in regards to this project. Good. Now, I think we have understood that area very well. That is where the interest part, I wanted us to understand that part well. Yeah? Because in an exam you can get that you have not calculated for this. But I'm going to give you another formula where you can get the PVS direct, yeah? Without calculating the PVIF. But it's good for us to understand the table fully, all of it. Yes. All of the NPV now. I will give you the formula. Now, so the remaining part of the table, you'll fill, if you use the same formula, in the third year you are going to get 0.7513. Then the next one, the PVIF for the fourth year, will be 0.6830. Good. So that is how we calculate the present value interest factor. Good. We go to the PVS. PVS is just direct now. The first formula for you to get the PVS, yeah, PVS or the present value, yeah, just very easy. You can multiply. You multiply the cash flow. You can multiply the cash flow, multiply by the present value interest factor. Yeah, you'll get your PVS. Or the the formula for getting PVS direct also is equals to, you get, the cash flow, which is the cash flow for that year, you divide by 1 plus the interest rate you have been given, plus power n. N is the number. If you are in the second year, it will be 2. Good. Let us do them practically now here. Let us do them practically now here. Let's do the PVS for using this one now. The first method. Year 1. Year 1. Using the first method, it will be 1500 multiplied by 0.9091. You'll get what? Then use the same year 1, the method 2, do the cash flow for that year is 1500. You divide by 1 plus the rate is 10 over 100. Then you put here what? You put here 1 because it's year 1. Let's see. If you are getting the same results, we'll apply the same in all other remaining years. So the first one, I'll do it practically. 1500 times 0.9091. I have 1363.65. 1363.65. Yes? Good. Let us do the second here. It will be 1500. Here it will be 1500. You divide by 1.1. Let's see if you get 13. 1500 divided by 1.1. Yes, I have it here. Can prove. I have 1363. 1363.65. Yes. So if you use this formula for the PVS, you are good. As far as you understand it. If you use this one, you are good. But this one was particularly to understand how you'll get this column. In case you want to fill this part, you'll understand. So you can do that for the second year. What will be changing is n part. Like for the second year, using this formula, it will be, so year 2, it will be what? Year 2, you just do now. The cash flow for that year is what? 3,000. You divide by 1 plus the rate is 10 over 100. You square now. You square, or the second year square. So it will be 3,000 divided by 1.1 squared. We got what? It's 1.21. 1.21. So 3,000 divided by 1.21. I'll have 2479. The answer is 2479. 2479.334. 34. Good. So you just do that and you are good to go. So let's fill our table. Let's fill our table now. So we understand now the two formulas. Let us now finish. We get the NPV and we advise the farm if it's going to venture into the that project. So it will be, the next one is 3,000 multiplied by the PVIF of that is 0.8264. 3,000 multiplied by 0.8264. I will have 2479, which is good. It is the same as this one. I've done with the multiplying this. So it's 2479.2. Let's say 2 what? It's 20. Good. So you're good to go. The next one we'll get 1502. 1502.60. Then the last one we'll have 1707.50. Good. So that is how we do that. Now, after you have done that, you have gotten your PVIS. We want now to get what? You want to get now the total PVS. The total PVS, the present value, you do what? You add. So you add this, yeah? You add the total PVS. So you can write here total PVS. You add. If you add, you'll get 7053. 7053 point what? 0.30. 0.30. So remember to write here the PVIF we are doing at the rate of 10%. The rate of 10%. Yeah. And we have seen how we have applied the 10% here. Good. Next part, after you get the total PVS, now in that total PVS, you are going to less the project cost. You less the project cost. Let us less project cost. You less the project cost. The project cost was 6,000. 6,000. You less the project cost, which was 6,000. So we remain with the 1,053.30. 1,643. 1,053.30 cents. Good. So that means this is now our NPV. Net present value. Net present value. That is our net present value. Yeah? Our net present value. Good. Now, after you get your net present value, this is now the answer we wanted at the end of this. But now we have to do the interpretation. How do you know that you want to invest in this project? Yeah? How do you know that you want to invest in this project? We normally say if the NPV, the net present value, the answer you have gotten there, yeah, is more than 0, greater than 0. That meaning it's 1, 2, 3, continuing to millions. It's more than 0. Yeah? We will accept the project. Or we will have to venture into this project. We will only venture into the project whose NPV is positive. Yeah? Let me just put it that way. We will venture in the project whose NPV is positive. So, here we will venture into the project. We will accept. We will accept. But if the NPV is less than 0, that is, it is negative, or it is negative. That is -1 continuing. Or if you get the answer here to be negative, meaning that we are going to decline or reject. Reject. We are going to reject the project. We are going to reject the project. We are going to reject the project. So in case the answer after you have deducted the cost from the total PVS, you get the answer here to be maybe a negative. That project we reject it. We are not going to venture into that project. We are going to reject it. Yeah. But if we get the NPV to be equals to 0, yeah, we call that one indifferent. Yeah, indifferent. Indifferent. Here we are going to play with the rate. Yeah, we are going to play with the rates here, whereby you realize it is an interesting part. I think we will understand that part very well when we are going to deal with the internal rate of return method, IRR. Yeah, we are going to play with this rate and you'll see how we venture in this part. So our next video is how now to see how to interpret when we get our answer as 0, LPV as 0. So that is the next problem you are coming to solve, and we'll approach that problem using the method of internal rate of return, and I know we are going to see how we can get our answer to 0 and be able to interpret the project. Now to our question, let's give the conclusion. Now we have got the NPV to be 1053.30, meaning that the project is more than, it's a positive. The answer is positive, or it's greater than 0. So I will advise the organization to invest in that project. So this is an interesting capital budgeting or project appraisal. It's an interesting topic, and it will help us in so many ways. Yeah, so let's just subscribe to the channel, remain interact to the channel, because we are going to learn more. We are going to solve together problems here, and as I promised that we are here to assist one another sail in our academic journey, to make sure that we have simplified for you the calculations in regards to business mathematics, anything to do with mathematics and calculations in accounts, so that all of us, we can be on the same page. So for today, I wish you all the best. Let's meet another day when we'll be coming to look more into the payback period using the tax and maybe the depreciation, and also under the NPV, where we are going to see how we can treat when we get our NPV to be zero or indifferent. So I wish you all the best as we continue our learning together. Bye bye. May God bless you.